Alright, crew. I'm back. Your boy. And I'm going to talk about, that's right, Warhammer 40,000. Exactly what you expected from me in a channel that has previously been entirely dedicated to Ninth Age and I think one Dark Souls stream once, which maybe isn't even there anymore. So recently, last year or so, I've been playing a bit of 40k. I don't reckon it's very good, to be honest. But it's a whole lot of fun to hobby up orcs. So I've been doing that, having fun, and occasionally being like, alright, I'll bring out my models, have a bad time playing the game, remember why I don't play the game, and then put them back on the shelf and just enjoy hobbying them and building them and painting them, basically. But recently, my boys, the Orcs, they got a new update, and everybody's really excited. I've seen all the YouTube videos about this book. Some people saying OP, like it's gonna be the new number one, too strong. I don't really care. I suck anyway, so that would just be a balancing factor. The fact that I don't use cover, because that's kind of boring. And other people going, oh, they've done it so well. You know, whoever wrote this, he loves orcs. He understands orcs. He's got it. It's a labor of love. And frankly, if this is a labor of love, I don't know what Ninth Age is, because comparing the two of these, well, in my opinion, it's a piece of shit. So, I'll give you a little bit of context, and you guys, most of you will probably actually understand 40k better than I do, so things I say could be wrong here, but just the vibe will probably be roughly right. Essentially, this book has like 5 or 6 actual rule changes on units, very few actual design changes for the units themselves. So the main thing is they've got these detachment rules, which is basically, hey, if you want to theme your army around a certain thing, we've got extra themes than you had before. The first one, if I go through here, is the one that we already had. So the book that you're currently using in 10th edition had Warhorde, which basically, maybe there's something that's small that's changed, but on the whole, it's exactly the same thing as it was before. Which is fine. I've got no particular issues with that detachment. It's sort of the general one for if you don't have a specific theme, you probably go Warhorde. But this is a big new release, whole new codex, unchanged. They were like, whatever we release for free, perfect in that sense. Now you got another one, The Big Hunt, which sure seems great, but it's really only very useful for about 5 units in the book, and the book's got like, I think, 40 or 50 units. So realistically, it's very specialized, and it's going, hey, if you're taking the beastie orc guys, this is your detachment. That's actually, it's kind of alright. It's fine. Then you got the Cult of Speed, which is basically shooty fast things, but it's not that helpful. It's not that good. It's pretty restricted in what it does. A bunch of the things that fit in Cult of Speed, so the Speed Freaks unit, are all of the aircraft, which basically don't benefit from the rules at all. And 2 of the little car things that orcs have, 2 of which already had half of the rule that this detachment gives you. So it's pretty much just going, hey, if you like bikers, good. We can help with bikers. Which, sure, I guess. Then you've got Dread Mob, which is basically all the mechy kind of things, like all the contraptions, except it's not. It's like 4 of them. 4 of them will benefit from this, and one of the biggest ones that would benefit from it has been booted off to basically be not part of the actual game in Grot Tanks. So you've got a small handful of things that will fit into this detachment and be good, and a bunch of other things that should fit into it, all the other mechy things, just don't. You don't really get a benefit. It's not part of this very specific vibe they're going for. Then you've got Green Tide, which is basically just, hey, you want to take stacks of orc infantry? Oh, no, 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 no. I know that we've got about 6 different types of orc infantry, but I'm only talking about one. If you've got that one specific type of orc infantry and lots of it, this is the one for you. Great. And then finally, you've got Bully Boys, which is a little bit like the last one, but there's a couple more guys left in. It's like, that's one specific type of infantry. We're going to ignore most of them, but we're going to add a couple more types of infantry that'll benefit from this one. So, the general point here is that we've got a book that's a labour of love that to me seems like completely phoning it in, where you've gone, if you want to actually use this book and the new things that we've released for, I think it's $90 Australian, you've got to go, pretty much, you're spamming the same thing, so your list is going to be, in my opinion, just more boring than it would have been otherwise. Because the Beast one is actually relatively themed. There's 5 different types of units that actually benefit from it, and you could do a Beast themed army. Most of the other ones, like the mech one, is basically just take as many killer cans as you can, and maybe a couple of the big walkers. Otherwise, you don't really get any benefit from it. One of the big things with Speed Freaks is basically that one of the cars, the shock jump dragster, effectively, because of the rule, it now works. So beforehand, it had this, I don't want to go into the details, and maybe it worked better than I understood anyway, but pretty much it was able to teleport around, but then if it teleported, it couldn't shoot. Now, if you take the Cult of Speed, you can teleport and still shoot, which to me seems like the entire point of taking your shooty car that can teleport. You don't have to wait a whole turn before you can shoot. But that should be in the models rules, because otherwise now if you're not running Cult of Speed, you're basically looking at that going, well, the model's crap, and you can't use it. So all of these detachments are just super specific and encouraging spam, and they only touch on about half of the book in total. Half of the units in the book is just, you really got nothing in the update. We not only didn't change you, you've got no new detachment to use, and actually for a lot of you, because the previous detachment rule is about melee, for a lot of the shooting units, you don't get a detachment at all. And all I've heard about this book is basically positivity about how well done it is. So, I don't have a high opinion of 40k in general. I don't think the game is very good. And if this is the gold standard of what you would expect in a codex, strong and fluffy, and I guess it's just not the game for me. Ninth Age, no matter what issues I have with it, much better. And all the people making it are putting way more effort into this than whatever these guys did with this book. The one caveat I will say on that is it's got some great fluff type stuff. It's where are we? It's got a whole, if you want to build this specific combat patrol, these are the units, this is sort of how to paint them. It's got, that theme and painting vibe that is really good. But the actual rules, I don't even think these guys bother with them. This would have taken an afternoon for someone to think up. It's basically just, these units all kind of do the same thing. We'll maybe give them a little bit of a benefit. And he hasn't even cleared his shelf of models to give all of them something in the book. It's just, what's the bloody point? But I do love a nice hardcover, sexy looking book. So I'm not even unhappy that I bought it, to be honest. Anyway, that's basically all I wanted to get off my chest. So, enjoy, guys.